Hi, my name is Mustafa Kamaluddin, and I'm a ukulele and guitar teacher that specializes in fingerstyle. Today, I'm excited to teach you a beginner fingerstyle arrangement of an old English tune called Vive La Compagnie. If you've been playing for a few weeks and know how to play a song or two, as well as chords C, F, and G, then you'll find this tutorial very useful. The lesson will feature tabs on screen with finger indications. PIMA, or PIMA, stand for right hand fingerings, and that is P for thumb, I for index, M for middle, and A for ring. 1, 2, 3, 4 stand for left hand fingerings, which refer to your first finger, second finger, third finger, and fourth. With that in mind, let's get started. But first, let's listen to the piece so we have an idea of what we're working on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so before you start learning the notes, it's always a good habit to learn the form of the piece you're learning. In this case, we have a verse made up of 8 bars, but in reality, it's really just 4 that repeat exactly the same. You have a chorus made up of easy chords, switching between strumming and fingerpicking. And then there's an instrumental version that gives you the chance to try a slightly more virtuosic passage. With that in mind, let's get started. The very first note is a pickup note to the beginning of bar 1, which is the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, and we are going to use our 3rd finger and our index for the right hand. And then we use our middle finger for the 1st string and the 4th finger for that 3rd fret on the 1st string. And the reason we don't use the same finger is because we want to overlap these 2 notes and make them sound legato. If you use your 3rd finger and then 3rd finger, then you have to stop this note. You could do a partial bar, but as a beginner, I strongly recommend that you avoid doing this and simply use 2 fingers with your 3rd finger and 4th finger. So that's index, middle. Notice how they are connected to each other. Now you use your thumb on the 3rd string, and this is string set 3, 2, 1, thumb, index, middle. That beat 4, is a block chord, meaning you play all the notes at the same time using your free stroke technique. You could strum it if you want, but I would avoid that because it would make that beat sound stronger than beat 1. So it's a good idea to play just a block chord. Alright, so that's index, middle, and for the left hand, that's your 4th finger, 2nd finger, and then open. So the first bar, now 3rd finger on the 3rd fret, 2nd string, index, down a string middle, back with your index on the 1st fret. Notice how I'm using the open string to connect my 3rd fret to the 1st fret and make them sound legato. Most beginners, when they go from the 3rd fret to the 1st fret, will sound like this. Stop, stop, and professionals would be able to play. They're connected without that pause. Having said that, for you, that open string allows you to mask that transition from the third fret to the first fret and sound legato. So make sure in the future when you learn pieces to spot those open strings and use them to transition between your left hand fingers. So that's right hand, index, middle, thumb, index. So by then we're playing the shape of a G major chord, but without the first string. Our third finger is already there, so we can just use it. And then ring finger on that third fret with our fourth finger. And then that last note of bar 4 is exactly the same as the pickup note that we played earlier on going into bar 1. So I'll just play bar 5 to 8 the same way as I played bar 1 to 4. Third finger. That's fourth finger with the ring, very important. And that's the verse, super easy to learn. Now let's take a look at the chorus. So you have bar 9 made up of 6 beats, making up the lower part of a C major chord. So make sure when you play these that you don't play the fourth string, because the melody line of that chorus is actually the open second string. So if by accident you play the first string, you will confuse what the melody is supposed to be. So that's... What you want to do here is you want to emphasize 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Because we're playing in 6/8, we don't want to hear this as even. We don't want to hear 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We want to be able to hear 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's a slight kind of swing to it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And the trick here is to quickly put your middle finger on the second string and play an F major chord. Notice how when I played the F major chord, I didn't place the chord at the same time, because the first note that I have to play is the first fret. So I just placed the first fret, and then I placed the second fret. Which brings me to a very important rule that I teach in Ukulele Fingerstyle Basics course, which is this. Only move your fingers when you absolutely need to. If you take a look at bar 10, you only need the first fret first, and then you can press your second fret. Bar 11 is the same idea as bar 9, except it is only 2 strings. So watch out for that strum. That's open fourth string, second finger on the second fret on the third string. Again, the challenge here is to be able to hit that second string open with your middle finger right away. It's totally fine to cheat and look at your right hand while you're doing this. Now it's a G major chord shape, block chord. Now your fourth finger is free, so might as well use it. Notice how when I played that chord in bar 16, I did a slow rake and I didn't blast it. I did not do that, I just went gently, because it's the end of the chorus, so we want to emphasize an ending of something, and we usually relax and take a breather at the end of something. So the chorus is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, block chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, block chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, G major chord shape. Now when I finish that C chord, I need to be careful. My first finger is free. I'm going to use it to do a position shift. So I'm going to move my hand so that my first finger is on the third fret. And then I'm going to stretch my fourth finger to get to that seventh fret. And I want you to notice that it's index with your right hand, ring finger on the seventh fret. It's very important to remember a ring finger on that seventh fret, and you're going to play ring, middle, index, and then middle, index, middle. Always alternate your right hand fingers when you're playing multiple notes on the same string. And bar 17 is an excellent example of that. Alright, so the pickup to the instrumental transition. First finger on the third fret on the second string with our index. Ring, middle, second finger, and then first finger on the third fret, index. Notice how I'm careful about stretching my hands. I'm working hard to connect these. I'm not being lazy. I'm not doing that. I'm working my best to make sure the fingers are on their frets. And here something beautiful is going to happen. See if you can catch it. My first finger is on the 3rd fret, but I'm not going to use it to play the second set of notes, which is 3rd fret, 2nd finger open, because that will result in a sloppy sliding effect. We don't want that sound. So the way we overcome that is by doing a position shift. So when I play the 3rd fret at the end of the first beat, I play that with my first finger. But then when I play the 3rd fret at the beginning of the second beat, I use my 4th finger to do an overlapping position shift. So I position shift it towards the neck, and I overlap the 1st finger with the 4th finger. That's a very cool move. Reminds me of rock climbers. Okay, so you're going to play. You gotta be careful about the timing. They have to sound legato, and don't do this. Stop. Right? Do not create a pause. They need to be smooth. Bar 18 is similar to what we've done in the verse. And now we have an F major chord, thumb, index, middle, and ring at the same time. These 2 strings are at the same time. Now it's a G major chord shape. And then you play ring. So that's F major. Watch out for the transition between the ending of bar 19 to 20. It comes right away. So that's... Do not miss that. It's difficult. And then you get the chance to do the repeat. And so on. And then so on. Alright, as you can see, it's super easy to learn the verse, super easy to learn the chorus and the instrumental transition. It is a lot of fun to play this piece, super catchy, and the words are easy to memorize. So definitely spend some time learning this piece.